Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, what new feature available on Gmail has people talking?
Then why Torrance schools are putting a hold to construction projects this year.
And find out how your child can be involved in the city's summer reading program.
Plus, fire prevention specialist Melissa Novak joins us in the studio for tips on a safe 4th of July weekend.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Julie Chan, filling in for Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. A California-based water bottling company is recalling several brands of bottled water. The recall is for Niagara water produced at its Pennsylvania facilities after finding out one of its sources was contaminated with E. coli. The water was bottled between June 10th and the 18th. The recalled water is sold in 14 different brand names, including ShopRite, Morning Fresh, Nature's Place, and Niagara, which is sold throughout Southern California. The affected products have codes that begin with the letter F or A. Common symptoms of E. coli include nausea, diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and vomiting. For more information, call Niagara Bottling's Consumer Service Line at 877-487-7873 or visit niagarawater.com.
If you've ever hit send on an email and immediately had second thoughts, regret no more. After being tested for years in Gmail labs, Google has officially added an undo send feature to their Gmail settings. Users can choose between 5, 10, 20, and 30-second windows to reverse the decision. The feature is turned off by default but can be enabled through the General tab in your Gmail settings. The feature is only available when accessing Gmail through a website and not on a smartphone.
If you're fed up with robocalls, there's an option to end them. The Federal Communications Commission approved a federal rule that allows telephone companies to offer consumers the option to block robocalls or unwanted calls, as well as spam text. Consumers can opt out of receiving future contacts simply by telling the companies. This decision comes in light of the thousands of consumer complaints the FCC receives monthly in regard to robocalls and spam text. This is the largest category of complaints received, totaling more than 215,000 last year. Currently, the Do Not Call registry offers tools to block unwanted calls from telemarketers. You can register your phone number at donotcall.gov in order to avoid receiving telemarketing calls at home. Opposition to the ruling includes those concerned this may have a large effect on future research, as most public opinion surveys are conducted via telephone polls.
And the results are in for the mysterious tar balls found on beaches recently. The Refugio pipeline spill near Santa Barbara is linked to the tar balls that washed ashore last month. 6 of the 9 samples collected from Manhattan Beach were consistent with the samples from the Santa Barbara region. The investigation will continue as the state awaits results from nearly 100 samples in the South Bay and Refugio area. No final decision yet on whether or not the Plains All-American Pipeline Company will be responsible for paying South Bay Beach cleanup costs.
A major center in Torrance is getting a makeover and a new name. The Delamo Finance Center was sold for $62.4 million to Muller Company and Green Oak Real Estate. The 8-acre center dates back to the 1960s, but was suffering from vacancies in recent years. Located at the intersection of Hawthorne Boulevard and Carson Street, the center will be renamed Delamo Crossing. The $35 million renovation includes plans to build more retail outlets, including a gym and a large restaurant.
Torrance school updates will be temporarily put on hold. 6 Torrance schools received the green light to be updated following the passing of Measure T and U. Construction was scheduled at 4 elementary schools, including Carr, Edison, Yukon, and Lincoln for this summer, as well as Jefferson and Casimir middle schools this fall. Those projects will be put on hold until next year due to an accusation that the construction company poses as a conflict of interest. The accusations are being made by San Diego attorney Kevin Carlin, who claims the construction management TUSD was using were lease back. That term refers to when school districts temporarily lease the school property under construction to a preferred general contractor. That contractor then hires subcontractors regardless of whether they are the lowest bidders. At the end, the company leases the property back to the school district. Carlin filed a series of lawsuits in 2012, including 2 against TUSD. The construction is funded by bonds taxpayers approved recently. Upgrades to the Torrance high schools will continue as scheduled.
A hospital in Torrance received a prestigious award. Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center Torrance was one of the 6 California hospitals to make a national list of 100 great community hospitals around the nation. This is the 3rd year in a row that the hospital has made the Becker's Hospital Review List, which is based on various rankings and awards. The hospital was also honored with Healthgrade's Distinguished Hospitals for a Clinical Excellence Award in the past 2 years.
Still ahead, some quick and easy steps to conserve water while saving money.
And how to get your kids excited about reading this summer.
Dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope Mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Welcome back. There's a new celebrity athlete in town. The LA Galaxy recently signed 30 new athletes to its Southern California Special Olympics Unified Soccer team, including Joseph Silva from Torrance. The team, which selects athletes both with and without disabilities, hopes to encourage teamwork in the sport of soccer. They will compete against other Major League Soccer affiliated Special Olympics teams throughout the year and receive a special recognition at the LA Galaxy game at StubHub Center on July 17th. A full roster of the team along with their bios can be found at lagalaxy.com/unified/roster.
Residents were given some new tools to save water. The South Bay Environmental Services Center was on site at West High with hundreds of free rain barrels to give away. The rain barrel can be used to catch water and reuse for agricultural or landscaping purposes and helps to make sure each drop of water is being used efficiently. The barrel features a flexible downspout as well as a built-in mosquito screen to keep the water free of bugs. Torrance residents who signed up were eligible to receive a barrel. For more information on the program, visit sbesc.com and search for free rain barrels.
They just opened, but there's already a long waiting list at the newly opened Cabrillo Apartments. The $23 million housing complex in Torrance has a waiting list of nearly 500 residents. It's the largest housing complex built in the city within the last 20 years. The biggest attraction is the affordable living cost. The housing complex was built specifically for low-income tenants who could not afford to live in the city otherwise. Monthly rents are about half the market average in the city, ranging from one-bedroom units priced between $442 and $754, as well as 2- and 3-bedrooms, also priced affordably. To qualify, tenants must make less than 30% to 60% of the average annual median income in the city. And with rent growth in the state double that of the national average, the waiting list is expected to double. The city was able to build the complex with a $4 million redevelopment agency fund.
Seniors came out to learn how to be safe by following some basic rules. The Torrance Police Department and Torrance Community Services Department partnered up to give seniors some general safety tips. Topics included Torrance Alerts, the mass notification system the city uses in the event of an emergency, as well as water and kitchen safety tips.
Frying or broiling, you don't want to leave it. You want to turn it off if you do need to step outside to go get the mail, or if you need to go take care of a child in another room. Best practice is to turn it off.
Other research programs put on by TPD include basic aid training for middle school students as well as high school CPR training.
Without a doubt, California is in a drought, so reporter Brianna Epps went out to find some easy ways to conserve water and save money on a consistent basis.
It's considered one of the worst droughts in California history.
There's 5 stages of drought, and we're in what's called an exceptional drought, which is the highest of those 5 stages.
According to Chuck Scheich, a senior public works analyst, he says it's the city's drinking water that is in short supply due to lack of rainfall and snowpack from the Sierra Nevada mountains.
So we've had 4 successive years of very diminished snowpack, which has greatly reduce the amount of fresh water we have in the state.
This is one of the reasons why residents need to conserve water on a regular basis. Shaikh says fixing leaks is an easy way for residents to conserve water and save money.
We can supply little tablets that are food coloring. You put it in the top of your toilet tank, let it sit for 10 minutes. If the blue color comes to the bowl, you have a leak in a flapper valve, which is a $5 part, and that can leak 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Governor Brown has ordered the city of Torrance to reduce its water use by 20%. Currently, we're at 11%. I'm here at Torrance Industrial Hardware to find out how you can continue to conserve water. Mike Damgee is the manager at Torrance Industrial Hardware. He says simple adjustments in your home could also make a big difference.
When you're using new valves for the toilets, you want to use new flush valves. The reason why is that some water you're spending, water will go inside the pipe and you're wasting water. So in that case, it's being old and it's time to replace it.
Damgee says changing shower heads is another affordable way to save water.
When you're looking to conserve water for head showers, you can always check out the 2.5 gallons per minute. They're the ones that saves more water than any other head showers.
Damgee says shower diverters can save 15 to 20 gallons of water as well.
You don't have to have the water running. You can use a shower diverter, shut it down, scrub yourself down, and then continue showering with this.
And according to the city's newest ordinance, leaking faucets must be fixed in 4 days.
Waste more than 20 gallons a day on a leaky water faucet. If it's dripping all day long and you're not doing anything about it, within 24 hours, you're spending more than 15 or close to 20 gallons of water a day. When you have a leaky water faucet, it's best if you change out the aerators. Most of them last about 5 or 6 years. You want to use one that has 1.5 gallons per minute. Those are the ones that you can save more water and conserve.
Officials don't know what next year will bring, but if all residents continue doing their part, the city should more than likely meet its conservation goals. Brianna Epps reporting for Torrance City Cable.
Thanks, Brianna. The City of Torrance has a turf removal program as well as rebates on high-efficiency toilets. For more information, visit SoCalWaterSmart.com.
Minimum wage increases are a major topic and happening all over the United States, with the state of California following suit. Jesse Pierre has more on the story.
Recently, the California State Senate passed a bill to raise minimum wages from $9 to $11 by January 1st. Third-generation business owner Rob Van Lingen has strong opinions about it.
It's a touchy issue because, of course we like our workers and we want them making a livable wage. The reality is that the minimum wage, it's for entry-level jobs.
Van Lingen, who owns a towing and impounds business, is also the vice chair of government affairs and policy at the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. Not only is he a strong advocate for small business owners, he also believes that raising the minimum wages will hurt them.
The biggest problem is that the small businesses, the real small businesses, the 2 or 3 man shops, they're going to go out of business. They can't afford it.
Campaigners, on the other hand, say increasing the minimum wages will boost our economy and lift millions of people out of poverty. Many Torrance residents have mixed feelings and are concerned of the overall increase in prices.
Overall, I think it's a great thing because a number of people have been working for the same wage for years. Cost of living continues to go up and incomes have never kept up with it.
I'm concerned about the effect on prices that are already very high and continuing to rise.
Everything else is going up. Why not the minimum wage? Certainly the people earning minimum wage are some of the hardest workers out there. So I'm happy.
Van Lingen says more time is needed for small business owners to adjust to the changes already in effect.
Businesses have not had a chance to analyze the latest increase in minimum wage, plus the paid sick leave, and we're just compounding all these issues, plus all the regulatory issues. So it's just almost impossible for the 1-person, 2-person, 3-person shops to survive.
The bill is gaining momentum with the current minimum wage at $9. This bill would supersede a measure passed less than 2 years ago to raise minimum wages to $10 January 1st, 2016. Van Lingen understands the value of a good worker and already pays a majority of his employees above the minimum wage. He wants policymakers to focus on education and training, making them more affordable and accessible.
Really the best way to raise people out of poverty is to give them skills.
From Torrance City Cable, I'm Jesse Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. The bill will go to the Assembly for consideration. If it passes, the new minimum wage will be set at $11 January 1st, 2016. To stay up to date with the latest California laws, visit ca.gov.
The school year may have ended, but a fun summer of reading is just beginning. Brianna Epps has the story.
Parents and children filled the Torrance main library to help kick off the annual summer reading program. Heather Furco plans the event and says it's a wonderful way to keep young minds active.
Reading through the summer helps combat summer slide, which is oftentimes children who don't read through the summer, they lose some of the skill sets and the things that they've learned in the previous year. So that helps to combat that.
Kristen Obue is going into the 4th grade and loves to read books.
Well, it's fun. It helps the brain have some education for your next grade.
Artie the Magician welcomed the kids with laughter and fun.
Here, hold on to that. We're trying to practice standing on one foot. Ladies and gentlemen.
Children waited anxiously with their parents to sign up and receive their reading log. Wendy Nodis has brought her children for the last 2 years. She says reading is not only for education, but a bonding family experience.
Reading is really important, and because it's just worked out really, really well for our kids to keep them busy and not always on their video games or the TV. And, you know, it's another way to stay close as a family, too, because we have a lot to talk about.
The reading program had 4,200 kids last year, and this year the library hopes for 5,000. The Torrance City Library Summer Reading Program starts June 22nd and ends August 8th. Kids can earn free books for logged reading time. I'm Brianna Epps reporting for Torrance City Cable.
Thanks, Brianna. To enroll your child in the free summer reading program, visit any Torrance Public Library.
Some iconic cereals are receiving an update. General Mills announced they will phase out artificial flavors and colors from all of its cereals by 2017. This announcement follows a long list of recent companies eliminating artificial ingredients from their stores, including Chipotle, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and Panera. General Mills cereals such as Trix and Reese's Puffs will be made with real fruit and vegetable juices as well as natural vanilla. Consumers can expect to see a change in colors of the cereal. You won't be seeing blue and green cereals anymore, as there is no natural alternative. General Mills also produces other cereals, including Cocoa Puffs, Wheaties, and Lucky Charms. Their next step is working to find a substitute for cereals with marshmallows without losing the flavor and texture. The company is also working to completely remove trans fats from its products.
No need to curb those chocolate cravings anymore. A new study published in the Heart Journal found that eating 3.5 ounces of chocolate every day could decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease in both men and women. The research compared individuals who regularly consumed chocolate to those who didn't. Higher intake showed an 11% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. But while there's a link between cocoa and heart health, researchers are quick to point out there is no proven cause and effect, as there may be other factors involved. The study tracked 21,000 men and women. Further research will study how eating chocolate compares to consuming fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. And when we come back, fire prevention specialist Melissa Novak will join us in the studio to share some safety tips this 4th of July weekend.
Welcome back, everybody, with the 4th of July weekend right around the corner. We brought in fire prevention specialist Melissa Novak from the Torrance Fire Department to discuss safety tips for the upcoming holiday. Hello, Melissa, and thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Let's talk about the legality of fireworks in Torrance. Tell us.
Well, unfortunately, within the city of Torrance, all fireworks, safe and sane, are illegal. So for this upcoming 4th of July, it's a big history for a lot of people to use fireworks, but within our city parameters, they are all illegal.
And that is because?
It's because of past years of a lot of fires occurring. A lot of cities are taking the approach of taking them out of their city requirements or their ability to have the fireworks. The National Fire Protection Association has estimated that over the years there are about 17,000 fires that occur each year that create $32 million worth of property damage and around 40 injuries annually each year.
Now, if you're going to a city where it is legal, give us some tips on some safety tips.
Sure. Probably one of the best safety tips I can have and give you is that if you are in a city that does allow fireworks, that you're going to want to use them how the manufacturer is actually recommending you to use them. They have different safe and sane fireworks that you can hold in your hand or place on the floor. So if you have a firework that they're recommending you put on the floor, you're not going to want to hold it in your hand. And also making you have a nice, clear distance away from any dead vegetation or any other combustible items.
So you don't advise bottle rocket fights?
We do not, no, we do not recommend those, and those are not considered safe and sane fireworks, so any city would not allow you to have those in your possession.
And what advice do you have if you want to celebrate the 4th of July in Torrance?
A great way that you can celebrate the 4th of July and still hold on to a lot of the historical meaning of that special holiday is just being able to spend the day with friends and family and be able to barbecue, keeping your barbecue in a nice safe distance away from other combustibles as well, and also just spending a day at the pool if you can, or spending the day at the beach, while also keeping an eye on your children or anybody else that may be in the pool as well.
And we here at CitiCABLE want to advise everyone, as what Melissa said, is that it is illegal in the city of Torrance.
It is illegal, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Melissa, for joining us. And when we come back, some upcoming events you won't want to miss, and the city remembers a very special leader. Don't go away.
Thanks for coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are some upcoming events to mark on your calendar. The city is hosting Movies in the Park once a month this summer. The movie begins at dusk around 8 p.m. with family-friendly activities beforehand. The first movie will be The Muppets at Victor Park on June 27th, followed by a showing of Hairspray on July 25th at Greenwood Park. And the final movie will be Happy Feet on August 29th at El Retiro Park. To see the full schedule, call 310-618-2930. And registration for the Los Angeles Triathlon is now open. The race is designed to run entirely throughout the city, starting and finishing at Torrance Beach and going through Miramar Park. To register, visit latriathlon.com and select registration online now. The event will be held on September 13th, so there's still plenty of time to get into shape. I'm talking to Gus, our director, and Ken Govan. We want to see you guys in that triathlon. Now let's go out to Colin Kushner to see what's new on the Sports Desk.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for cruising by the Sports Desk studio. One last time before we venture outside for the summer, hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook with any pics, video, or anything sports related right here in the South Bay. Don't forget, what you send will make the show. North Torrance's Jasmine Margetts finishes up a stellar prep career in the pool. Grab your goggles. We're going to dive into her next move. Plus, don't forget about my weekly rant and the sauciest plays of the month. That's 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Boob sauce. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Colin. We love your enthusiasm. Catch on fire with enthusiasm, and people will come from miles around to watch you burn. Dick Rosberg was a Torrance leader who dedicated his life to making Torrance a great city to live in. As he's laid to rest, his family and former colleagues remember the great man Rosberg was and the legacy he leaves behind. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Hiba Samad has the story.
He was a good guy. He had so much integrity. He was honest. He was funny as heck.
As Kirk Rosberg shares memories about his father, Dick Rosberg, there are some that he will never forget.
When no girls showed up to watch us play football on Thanksgiving, they selected my dad as the turkey bowl queen.
Not only was he there for his family, but always there for the city of Torrance. Rosberg says his father turned down a job opportunity in the Midwest just so he could stay in Torrance.
Started a whole brand new career with 4 children, not knowing what type of money that would come in.
Not only did he start his own brokerage firm, Dick Rosberg served on the Torrance City Council from 1976 to 1984, and also at one time was the president of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce.
There were many nights that I know he didn't even sleep because he would be spending time doing things for the community, and then he still had to work.
Rosberg was committed to serving the community and made helping the youth a priority. He created a program where high school students could learn about career choices.
And he would take high school kids and introduce them to like the fire department and the police department and the behind the scenes of the city council.
Leaving an undeniable print on the city, Dick Rosberg's heart was always in Old Torrance. He was instrumental in making Old Torrance what it is today and ensuring businesses like the Torrance Bakery would stay for years to come.
My dad actually got a loan, and he actually owns this building. He bought this building and actually took out a mortgage on his house to be able to pay for that, just to kind of help me keep the bakery here, because there was a lot of talk about them moving the bakery.
And even after he served on the council, colleagues say it was like Rosberg never left.
We knew that there was something going on in the city, and we wanted somebody else's advice that was unbiased in any way. We can call Mr. Rosberg up.
Former Mayor Frank Scotto says his connection with Dick Rosberg is special, as it was his encouragement that led him to get more involved in city leadership.
He sat me down and told me the ins and outs. And actually, for our first discussion, he wanted me to really think about it, because he wanted me to realize what my commitment was to the city.
A leader who lived a wonderful life, serving the community he held so close to his heart.
Very honored to be a friend of him, and I'm truly going to miss him.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. Dick Rosberg was also one of the recipients of the Jared Sidney Torrance Award, the highest honor given by the city. Rosberg was 87 years old. His family plans to establish a youth leadership program in his honor. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Julie Chan. Thanks for joining us. And today is Ben McCain's birthday. Happy birthday from all of us here at CitiCABLE.
Thank you so much. You know, my wife says I'm not getting older, I'm getting better.
That's right. You're awesome.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.